What is AI? Explained simply, no tech jargon. Welcome to AI Simplifier. Today we're starting with the most important question of all. What exactly is artificial intelligence? Now I know what you might be thinking. Oh no, here comes a lecture with math formulas, computer jargon, and words I can't pronounce. But don't worry, I promise this will be different. This is AI explained in plain English. Think of it like story time, not a science lecture. So sit back, because by the end of this video, you'll walk away not just knowing what AI is, but actually feeling like you understand it. Part 1. Why this question matters. Let's be real. You've heard the phrase artificial intelligence everywhere, in movies, in the news, maybe even at work. It's one of those terms like the internet or electricity that everybody throws around, but very few people stop to really define. And yet, it's becoming such a big part of our lives that not understanding it is a little like living near the ocean, but not knowing how to swim. You can get by, sure, but you'll always feel just a little left out of the action. That's why this video matters. Because the future is being shaped by AI, and if you can understand it clearly, without the confusing jargon, you can start to see how it connects to your daily life, your job, even your creativity. Part 2. Clearing the confusion. Now before we define AI, let's clear the air on one thing. AI is not magic. It's not some robot brain that suddenly woke up. It's not C-3PO from Star Wars holding a conversation with you. It's not the Terminator plotting to take over the world. And it's not your toaster secretly becoming smarter behind your back. Those are Hollywood stories. Fun to watch, but misleading when it comes to reality. Instead, think of AI more like electricity. Electricity by itself doesn't do anything. But when you plug it into a lamp, you get light. When you plug it into a computer, you get computing power. When you plug it into a fridge, you get cold storage. AI is the same. By itself, it's just a set of methods and systems. But once you plug it into healthcare, transportation, finance, or education, it starts to show its magic. Not because it's alive, but because it's very, very good at spotting patterns. Part 3. A mental reset. So here's a mental reset I want you to carry through this whole series. AI is not a brain. AI is not alive. AI is a tool. A powerful one, yes, but a tool made by humans to do very specific things. And that's why we're starting with the basics. Let's break it down piece by piece without the noise. Ready? Let's dive into the big idea of what AI really is. Part 4. Why the definition is simple. So, let's circle back. AI equals machines that can perform tasks requiring human-like intelligence, usually by learning from data. That's the simplest definition, and it's powerful, because it covers everything from Siri understanding your voice to self-driving cars navigating traffic. But don't let the simplicity fool you. Behind the scenes, the systems making this possible are some of the most complex tools humans have ever built. And yet the foundation is simple enough for a kid to grasp. Learn from examples, find patterns, and make predictions. Transition into section 2. Now that we've got the big idea nailed down, here's the real question. Where do you actually see AI in action? Because it's one thing to understand it in theory, but it becomes a lot clearer when you see it working in your everyday life. That's exactly where we're heading next. Real, everyday examples of AI that you already use, even if you don't know it. Coming up next, Section 2, Everyday Examples. Script, what is AL? Explained simply, no tech jargon. Section 2, Everyday Examples say, footage of people using phones, streaming Netflix, riding in cars, scrolling social media. Opening transition, bridging from Section 1. So now that we've nailed down the big idea of AL machines learning patterns and making predictions, let's bring it closer to home. Because here's the truth. AL isn't some futuristic concept waiting to arrive. It's already here. It's quietly running in the background of your life every single day. You might not see it, but you feel it every time you watch a show, order food, or even unlock your phone. Part 1. AL in your pocket. Smartphones. Let's start with the device you probably check 100 times a day. Your phone. Smartphones are basically little AL hubs. Voice assistants. Siri, Google Assistant, Alexa. These aren't just fancy microphones. When you ask, "What's the weather today?" AL translates your speech into text, interprets what you meant, pulls information from the web, and speaks it back in human language. What feels like a conversation is really layers of AL. Speech recognition, natural language processing, and text-to-speech working together. Autocorrect predictive text. Ever noticed your phone finishing your sentences? That's Al. It studies millions of text patterns to guess what you're about to type. Sometimes it nails it, other times it hilariously fails. But either way, that's machine learning at work. Face unlock. Many phones let you unlock them just by looking at the screen. The Al behind facial recognition scans thousands of tiny details in your face, distance between your eyes, curve of your jawline, and compares it against its memory of your face. It's fast, invisible, and incredibly precise. So even before breakfast, you've already interacted with multiple Al systems just by picking up your phone. Part 2. Al in entertainment. Netflix, Spotify, and TikTok. Approx 650 words. Now let's talk about where Al is quietly shaping your free time. Entertainment. Netflix recommendations. When you finish watching a series and Netflix suggests another one, that's Al. It's not random. Netflix studies your watch history, how long you watched, whether you skipped, what genres you linger on. Then it compares you with millions of other users to guess what you'll love next. Spotify playlists. The Discover Weekly playlist is basically Al as a DJ. It listens to what you listen to, compares your tastes with others, and builds a custom mixtape. That's not a human hand picking songs for you. It's algorithms, weaving together patterns of sound, tempo, and lyrics. TikTok, Instagram ads. Ever notice how addictive these apps are? That's because Al is their heartbeat. The system tracks what you pause on, what you rewatch, what you skip in under 2 seconds. Then it learns fast what kind of content hooks you and serves you more of it. That's why your feed feels personalized. It's Al reading your digital body language. On-screen, montage of Netflix autoplaying, Spotify playlist loading, TikTok scrolling endlessly. Here's the fascinating part. Al in entertainment is shaping culture itself. Songs go viral not because a record label pushes them, but because Al decides to surface them on people's feeds. Shows trend globally because recommendation algorithms push them to millions at once. So Al isn't just reflecting your tastes, it's actively shaping what the world watches, listens to, and talks about. Part 3. Al in navigation travel. Next time you open Google Maps or request a ride on Uber or Bolt, remember this. Al is the reason it feels effortless. Route optimization. When you type in a destination, Al instantly analyzes traffic patterns, road closures, and historical data to predict the fastest route. It's not just showing you a map, it's crunching millions of data points in real time. Ride-hailing apps. When you order a ride, Al decides which driver to assign, how long it'll take, and even what price you'll pay. Surge pricing. That's Al predicting demand and adjusting costs to balance drivers and riders. Airline industry. Even in air travel, Al is at work behind the scenes. From predicting delays due to weather to optimize fuel use, Al is helping planes fly safer and more efficiently. So the next time you magically dodge a traffic jam or your driver shows up right on time, thank Al for quietly steering the ship. Part 4. Al in social media. Let's be honest. Social media is where many of us spend way too much time, and Al is the invisible engine keeping you hooked. Content curation. Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter. None of these apps show you everything your friends post. Instead, Al decides what's most relevant to you. That's why you sometimes miss posts from a close friend, but see dozens from someone you hardly know. Photo tagging. Ever uploaded a group photo and seen your friends automatically tagged? That's facial recognition. Identifying people in the picture. Spam. Fake account detection. Behind the scenes, Al is also scanning billions of posts to filter out bots, scams, and harmful content. But here's the flip side. The same Al that keeps your feed engaging can also create echo chambers, where you only see content that matches your views. That's why understanding Al matters, so we're aware of its influence, not just entertained by it. Example: feed scrolling. Al highlighting recommended posts. Part 5. Al in daily convenience. And finally, let's not forget the little everyday conveniences that Al powers. Shopping recommendations. Browse Amazon, and Al is constantly suggesting products you might also like. It learns from what you click, what you buy, and even what you ignore. C. Smart home devices. thermostats that adjust based on your habits, vacuum cleaners that map your floor plan, refrigerators that remind you to buy milk, all powered by Al. Email filters. Gmail's spam filter is a classic Al success story. It scans billions of emails to detect patterns of spam and keeps your inbox manageable. These may feel small, but together they save you time, effort, and mental energy every single day. Amazon page, Roomba vacuuming, Gmail inbox filtering spam. So far, we've looked at Al in action, on your phone, in your playlists, in your commute, even in your fridge. But here's the natural next question. How does it actually work? How do these machines go from raw data to smart decisions that feel almost human? That's exactly what we'll unpack in the next section. The secret sauce of AI, explained in simple steps without the tech jargon. Coming up, Section 3, How Al Works, explained simply. Animation of gears turning, then a friendly diagram showing input, process, output. Background music slightly curious. So we've seen how Al shows up in your life and on your phone, in your playlists, in your commutes, and even in your fridge. But here's the big question. How does it actually work? How does a machine go from raw data, like millions of photos or hours of audio, to making smart decisions that feel almost human? The good news is you don't need to be a programmer to understand this if you've ever taught a child, played a guessing game, or noticed patterns. In your daily life, you already get the basics. So let's break down Al's secret sauce in plain language. Part 1. The 3-step core of Al. At the heart of every Al system are 3 steps. Think of it as a recipe with 3 main ingredients. 1. Data. 2. Patterns. 3. Decisions. Let's unpack these. Step 1. Data. Al learns from examples, just like humans do. If you wanted to learn how to bake, you'd watch recipes, taste test, and practice. Al learns in the same way, except its ingredients are data, images, text, sounds, numbers. Step 2. Patterns. Once it has data, Al looks for patterns. If it's trained on cat photos, it notices things like whiskers, pointy ears, fur textures. If it's trained on weather data, it said that certain temperatures and pressures often lead to rain. Step 3. Decisions. Finally, Al uses those patterns to make predictions or take action. It might say, "This is a Weyatan cat," or "It looks like rain tomorrow," or "This customer probably wants to buy headphones." So the magic isn't really magic at all. It's learning patterns from data, then applying them to new situations. Cartoon of Al eating data, thinking about patterns, then speaking out decisions. Part 2. Teaching machines like children. Here's a metaphor. Imagine teaching a toddler to recognize animals. At first, you point to a picture and say, "Dog." You show another, "Dog." After a while, the child notices. Dogs often have floppy ears, wagging tails, certain shapes. Then one day, they see a completely new dog they've never met before. And they shout, "Dog." That's learning. They didn't memorize just one picture. They understood the pattern. Al learns the same way. We train it by feeding it thousands, sometimes millions of examples. At first it guesses wrong, a lot, but with feedback, it improves until it can spot the pattern on its own. This process is called machine learning, and it's why Al can recognize your voice, detect spam emails, or even generate realistic images. It's not memorizing, it's generalizing from examples. Split screen. Toddler pointing at a dog versus Al scanning dog photos. Part 3. Types of learning. Now, Al doesn't just learn one way. There are a few main styles of learning. And don't worry, I'll keep this jargon free. Supervised learning. Imagine you're a teacher grading homework. You give the student a question, they answer, and you mark it right or wrong. Over time, they improve. That's supervised learning. Al gets labeled examples. This is spam, this is not spam, and learns the pattern. Unsupervised learning. Now imagine you hand a student a pile of books with no labels. You just say sort these however you think makes sense. They might group them by color, size, or topic. That's unsupervised learning. Al finds hidden patterns without clear instructions. Reinforcement learning. Finally, think of training a dog. Every time it sits, you give it a treat. Every time it misbehaves, no treat. The dog learns by trial and error, guided by rewards. Some AL systems, like those learning to play chess or drive cars, work this way. 3 animations: teacher with homework, supervised; student sorting books, unsupervised; dog training, reinforcement. Part 4. Why data is king. Here's the thing. AL is only as smart as the data it learns from. If you train it on millions of cat photos but only one dog photo, guess what? It'll think everything is a cat. That's why tech companies invest so much in collecting data. It's the fuel for the AL engine. The more diverse and accurate the data, the better the AL performs. Think of data like ingredients in cooking. Even the best chef can't make a good meal with rotten vegetables. Likewise, AL can't make good predictions with bad data. Cartoon of AL chef cooking with fresh versus rotten ingredients. Part 5. The black box problem. One challenge with AL is what experts call the black box problem. Imagine you ask your friend advice, and they give you the perfect answer, but you have no idea how you got it. That's what happens with many AL systems. They make predictions that work, but even the engineers can't always explain the exact steps inside. This can be a problem in sensitive areas like healthcare or finance, where we want to know why the AL made a decision, not just the decision itself. That's why there's a growing focus on explainable AL, systems that can show their reasoning more clearly. It's also important to know that AL isn't flawless. It makes mistakes, sometimes funny, sometimes serious. It might recommend a song you hate. It might mistake a chihuahua for a blueberry muffin. Or in bigger cases, it might misdiagnose a patient or misinterpret a credit score. AL is powerful, but it's not magic. It's a tool, one that reflects the data it's trained on and the design choices humans make. Side-by-side image of chihuahua versus muffin. Internet meme reference. So now we've cracked open the black box and seen the recipe. Data, patterns, decisions. We've seen how AL learns like a child, how it gets trained, and why it sometimes fails. But here's the million-dollar question. Why should any of this matter to you? Well, the reason is simple. AL isn't just shaping your phone or your playlists. It's shaping jobs, healthcare, creativity, and even how society works. That's exactly what we'll explore in the next section. Why AL matters, and how it could change the world you live in. Coming up, Section 4, Why AL matters. Section 4, Why AI matters. Soft but serious background music. Visuals of hospitals, classrooms, farms, cityscapes. So far we've explored what AI is, where you see it, and how it actually works. But here comes the big question. Why should you care? Why does artificial intelligence matter to you, your family, your job, and your future? The truth is, AI is more than just apps and gadgets. It's becoming one of the most powerful forces reshaping human life. And like all powerful forces, electricity, the internet, nuclear energy, it comes with both incredible opportunities and serious challenges. Part 1. AI and healthcare. Let's start with one of the most important areas, your health. AI is already transforming medicine in ways that sound futuristic, but are happening today. Disease detection. AI systems are trained to read medical images, X-rays, MRIs, CT scans. In some cases, they detect early signs of cancer or heart disease more accurately than human doctors. The advantage? Speed and consistency. AI doesn't get tired, distracted, or overlook details. Personalized medicine. Drug discovery. Developing a new medicine usually takes years, even decades. AI is accelerating this by predicting which chemical compounds are likely to work before expensive lab trials begin. Virtual health assistants. Imagine a 24/7 digital nurse answering your questions, reminding you to take medication, or monitoring your symptoms through wearable devices. The impact is massive: faster diagnoses, more accurate treatments, and potentially saving millions of lives. But there's a flip side. Healthcare AI raises tough questions. Who's responsible if an AI makes a wrong diagnosis? How do we keep patient data safe? And will smaller hospitals or poorer countries get left behind? So yes, AI in healthcare is revolutionary, but it requires careful balance between innovation and responsibility. Doctor consulting AI screen, patient wearing smartwatch, molecules forming medicine. Part 2, AI and jobs. Now let's talk about something closer to home for many people. Jobs. AI is often called the new electricity. powering every industry it touches. But just like electricity replaced candle makers and horse-drawn carriages, AI is going to disrupt the job market in big ways. Jobs at risk. Repetitive, predictable tasks are the first to go. Think data entry clerks, telemarketers, basic customer support, some factory work. AI can handle these faster. Agriculture. AI-powered drones and sensors help farmers predict weather, monitor soil, and detect crop diseases early. This means more food with fewer resources, vital as the world's population grows. Accessibility. For people with disabilities, AI is a game changer. Voice-to-text helps the hearing impaired, image recognition helps the visually impaired, and smart devices bring independence. Public safety. Cities are experimenting with AI to monitor traffic, reduce accidents, and even predict where crimes might occur. The impact stretches everywhere. AI is becoming like the plumbing or electricity of society, invisible but essential. The question is whether we guide it responsibly or let it run unchecked. Classroom with AI tutor, farmer with drone, visually impaired person using AI device. Jobs transformed. Many roles won't disappear but will change. Accountants, lawyers, teachers, marketers. AI will handle the boring, routine parts of the job, freeing humans to focus on strategy, creativity, and empathy. New jobs created. Every wave of technology creates new roles. 100 years ago, no one was a software engineer or UX designer. With AI, we're seeing new opportunities. AI trainers, ethicists, data annotators, human-AI collaboration specialists. Here's a way to picture it. Imagine the invention of the car. Yes, it put horse carriage drivers out of work, but it also created entire industries. Mechanics, gas stations, car insurance, road construction. AI is the same. It will wipe out some jobs, yes, but it will also create new ones we can't even imagine yet, used for manipulation, propaganda, or even autonomous weapons. These aren't sci-fi questions. They're real issues that experts, policymakers, and all of us need to grapple with. Because AI isn't neutral. It reflects the choices humans make in building and deploying it. Protest over surveillance, judge with scales of justice. AI facial recognition scanning crowd. Part 5. The big picture. So why does AI matter? Because it's more than just another gadget. It's a force that could shape the 21st century as much as electricity shaped the 20th. It can save lives, create opportunities, and unlock human potential. But it could also deepen inequality, invade privacy, and concentrate power. Part 4. The ethical questions. Here's where things get tricky. AI isn't just about cool tech. It raises serious ethical questions. Bias. If an AI is trained on biased data, it makes biased decisions. For example, facial recognition has been shown to misidentify people of color more often. That's not because the AI is racist, but because it was trained on limited data. Still, the impact can be harmful. Privacy. AI thrives on data. But whose data? Your searches, your location, your photos? Where do we draw the line between useful personalization and creepy surveillance? Power. Who controls AI? Is it just big tech companies? Or should governments regulate it? What happens when powerful AI systems are? That's what we'll cover in the final section. A clear, human-centered takeaway to tie everything together. Coming up, outro, the takeaway. Next, we peeked behind the curtain and asked, how does it actually work? And we broke it down to 3 simple steps: data, patterns, decisions. Like teaching a child or training a dog, AI learns from examples, improves over time, and then applies what it has learned. And finally, we asked the most important question: why does it matter? We saw how AI is transforming healthcare, jobs, education, farming, even culture itself. We also faced the tough questions: bias, privacy, responsibility, and power. So now let's zoom out and ask, what's the real takeaway for you? Part 1. AI is a tool, not a master. The first and most important point is this: AI is a tool. It's easy to get caught up in the hype, the sci-fi movies, the headlines warning of robots stealing our jobs. But at the end of the day, AI is created, trained, and deployed by humans. It reflects our choices, our values, and yes, our mistakes. That means we're not powerless. The future of AI isn't something happening to us. It's something happening through us. And the way governments regulate it, the way companies design it, and the way we choose to use it will shape what AI becomes. If we treat it like a partner, a helper, a tool for amplifying human potential, then it can truly change the world for the better. AI is often invisible. It It works behind the scenes, nudging your choices, what video you watch, what product you buy, even what news you read. And if we're not aware of it, we can end up being influenced without realizing it. But once you see it, you start noticing it everywhere. The recommendations, the filters, the automation, you'll begin asking smarter questions. Why is this being shown to me? What data is this system learning from? Is this helping me? Or is it just benefiting the company behind it? That simple act of awareness, of lifting the curtain, gives you back some control. You're not just a passive consumer of AI. You're an active participant in how it shapes your life. Part 3, the human side. And here's the final piece. Never forget the human side. AI is powerful, but it doesn't replace what makes us uniquely human. Our creativity, empathy, humor, values, and imagination. Machines can recognize patterns, but they don't understand meaning. They can predict your next song, but they don't feel the music. So while AI gets better at being smart, we need to get better at being wise. Wise in how we use it. Wise in how we govern it. Wise in how we keep human dignity at the center of all this progress. If we do that, then AI isn't something to fear. It's something to guide, to collaborate with, and to use as a force for good. Closing call to action. So, what is AI? It's simply machines learning patterns. But why does it matter? Because those machines are shaping the future we're all walking into. And now you understand it. Clearly, simply, without the jargon. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to AI Simplifier, and share this with a friend who still thinks AI is only about robots taking over. And tell me in the comments, what's one area of life where you'd like to see AI help humans most? And I'll be reading and replying to as